Mesa Fitness here, and today I am back with episode 6 of GymTalk. In this episode, I'm talking with Sean Seams, who's a teacher at a local middle school and a member at Mesa Fitness Grand Junction. Now, I know Sean personally, and I've seen his story over the last couple years, and it's pretty awesome. So I wanted to bring him on, talk a little bit about his weight loss journey, his fitness overall, his involvement in last year's Elevate 8-Week Challenge, and his new fitness passion, disc golf. So here's my talk with Sean.
So first off, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure.
For those who might not know who you are, go ahead and introduce yourself, what you do for work, and your background, how you're related to Mesa Fitness.
Okay. I'm Sean Seams. I am a teacher at Mount Garfield Middle School here in the district. Teach 8th grade social studies. I've known Cassie Bennett, so your wife, for quite a while, and talked to me about, joining Mesa Fitness because I started talking about wanting to join a gym. And so decided to make my journey start there.
That's awesome. Now, tell anybody who might be watching what your journey looks like. I know you've lost a pretty good amount of weight. So I guess, what point did you think to yourself, okay, I need to change. I need to get back in the gym?
So it was about a year and a half ago, I realized that, 309 pounds on the scale at the doctor's office, that was really terrifying. I have a heart condition, so that automatically made things even more real for me, and decided that, things really need to make differences within my lifestyle, whether it be a heart attack or go to the gym and give myself a heart attack because I'm working so hard. So I chose the latter and decided that, it really makes more sense to find healthy ways of living. So I decided to open up a membership with Mesa Fitness and really get started. And I started losing weight pretty quickly. I used a couple different online workouts that I found, and they seemed to work well, and just started eating really well. Dropped myself down to 260 pounds, and then COVID happened.
Wow.
Did the Elevate Challenge, was really excited about it. Lost 13 pounds doing that. And then, COVID hit me, and I hit the COVID 20 like most of the people who are sitting around at home not doing the easy ways around life. But just restarted my workout journey again earlier this week. And God, I'm sore, but I wake up every morning and miss it. So I'm really excited to be back at it.
That's awesome. What's your current goal? What are you trying to get to?
So I'm going to get to 270 by April 24th. That is the first official PDGA sanctioned tournament I'm going to play in, which is disc golf. So definitely going to try and get myself back to that 270 and go from there. Very
cool. Okay. You alluded to your participation in the Elevate 8-Week Challenge from last year. Talk about that a little bit. How'd you get into it, and how did that work for you?
So I just saw ads at the gym. I get there about 5 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock every morning, and just saw ads and was like, I'm here every day or every other day, so I might as well just give it a shot. It's going to keep me motivated. And one of my coworkers did it with me, and so we spent a lot of time talking a lot of crap, but always supporting each other. And it was just great. It was fun to see how many more people were in the gym and working out and really trying to make a difference, because those holiday weigh-ins can be really brutal, especially emotionally. They call it a journey. It's not just a finish.
Right.
So definitely an uphill battle, but it was really fun to just see the weight kind of peel off, and it gave me something additional to work for.
That's good. Now, you've probably noticed we haven't started one this year. We actually just finished up some meetings, and we're going to be announcing a new one. By the time your video comes out, we will have announced it. But a new one is going to launch in March of this year. We wanted to wait, obviously, with COVID, see what restrictions look like, what the world looked like with COVID. Yeah. So we're pushing that off, but March of 2021, there's another one. So
perfect.
So we're excited for that one.
Yep, me too.
Well, let's see. Now, going through your Instagram, you posted a couple of your quarantine workouts. Talk a little bit about a couple of the things that you did while you were stuck at home during quarantine.
So when everybody went to quarantining, we were actually in Nebraska visiting my fiance's family, and decided that, I'm probably going to try and buy weights, and found some super cheap weights at Walmart, and decided, I've got a flight of stairs at home. Great way to do calf workouts.
Mhm.
So I decided that I would do about 10 to 8 calf raises, both toes in, toes out, and toes straight forward, at least one flight or 2 flights. Definitely overextended for sure. There were a couple mornings where I woke up and really couldn't walk very well. So I had a lot of shenanigans from my property manager and the people living around me, but
Yeah.
a lot of people were really excited to just see somebody outside. So a great way to just get out of my apartment building for a moment. And then everybody kind of has a deck of cards laying around. And while I was playing football in high school, we used to do that as an auxiliary workout where you just pull out a deck of cards and set up some push-up stations. So I originally started just doing some push-ups, ace through 10. You just do 1 to 10 push-ups and then go up as the face cards get higher. Definitely worked me out pretty hard. And then I realized, I could change suits into lunges or squats or dips and use just about every portion of my apartment I could, but definitely worked out really well. I'm not the person that enjoys doing things at home like that. I like going out. I like going to the gym. So it slowly, got hotter and hotter and hotter as the summer came on, and having a tiny AC unit didn't help. So it kind of made my workouts a lot more staggered, but
Mhm.
great way to just kind of stay active at home.
Yeah, that deck of card workout I saw was pretty cool. We actually did that with some of our trainers here recently.
Cool.
One of our trainers, Manny, he had found one that's called the Deck of Death, and it's
Okay.
kind of an alteration of what you did, but each suit is a different exercise, and then you go through the entirety of the deck. So face cards, all the numbered cards,
Yep.
and jokers or burpees, and that.
Oh, God.
Watching that, because thankfully I didn't participate. All I did is record it. So, but just watching it was brutal.
Yeah.
I was nice because they were like, hey, we need somebody to read the cards out to us. I was like, okay. So we were nice. We did the Joker for one of the Jokers first.
Nice.
And we shoved the other one in the middle of the deck somewhere. And it ended up being like the last third of the workout. And so it was awful to watch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's funny, you'll start doing it and you'll be like, oh, sweet, 2, 2, 2, 3, 5. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh no, I've king or queen in a while. And then they're stacked and you've got a jack and then a queen and then a queen,
Mhm.
a plank for aces, then another queen and then a king. And you're like, cool, I've done almost 100 push-ups in the last 5 minutes, or squats, or all of these different workouts. So it's
Yeah.
brutal. I totally feel what they went through.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely need the luck of the shuffle on that one.
Yeah.
So let's get back into teaching. How did you get into teaching to begin with?
So I started working at a Boys and Girls Club in high school. I loved working with kids. I've always been able to connect really well, especially with middle school age kids. They're at such a weird point in their lives where they want to be adults, but they still want to act like they're 5 years old. So matches my adult personality really well. But worked there until I was a senior in high school, and then decided that, I really like this, and applied to go to college and got into CMU and got into their education program. When I was a senior in high school, I kind of told my friends, I want to be a teacher, and my senior class, with all of the most likely to become presidents or whatever, actually voted me most likely to become a teacher.
Oh,
So
really? That's
I feel
awesome.
like it was all, stars aligned for me, but got through the program and started teaching at Mount Garfield for my senior year, and just fell in love with teaching. And, it's a calling for some people and it's a headache for others, but I love the job. I love working with kids, especially kids that come from backgrounds that are much different than mine and struggle and just need that consistent adult, because, we all need somebody to just kind of go to. And if I can be that person and teach them something on the side, I'm definitely a happy camper.
Yeah, one of the coolest things for me is as kind of an outsider on the inside a little bit. Obviously, our connection is through my wife, who teaches with you at Mount Garfield.
Yeah.
But one of the interesting things for me is to hear some of the stories from some of the kids. And obviously, I'm on the outside, so I just I hear some stories, and
Yeah.
I do get to meet them occasionally. I coach basketball at West, where my father-in-law is the principal.
Yeah.
I coached basketball a few years there, and volleyball, so I got to meet a lot of the kids and get to learn a lot of the stories. And I think that's one of the coolest parts is to get to connect with more people and families, and kind of get to see where everybody's coming from. It really puts a lot of different things into perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely does. And a lot of us forget what it was like to be a sixth grader or a seventh grader or an eighth, how life is. So yeah, you kind of connect with that little human being and you're like, I hope I was like that, or man, I really hope I wasn't like that.
That's right.
It's an
That's
awesome
right.
picture.
One of the other cool things that I always enjoy, hearing things from my wife is some of the projects that teachers come up with or find from other fellow teachers. And
Yeah.
one of the ones that I really enjoy hearing about that you work on is the Ute Heritage Program.
Yeah.
So talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. So my senior year, or senior year of college, my mentor teacher was working on a project called the Ute Heritage Program. Her students the year before had taken a hike up the mica mines, and one of her students was like, "Oh, hey, I know where some petroglyphs are. Do you want to see them?" And so they took this social trail. So it's not supposed to be there. People have just kind of forged this trail,
Mhm.
and they went up and saw them, and the rock wall with all these petroglyphs were just completely graffitied over. Paint, charcoal, spray paint, scrapings with knives and other things. There was trash all over the place. And the students were like, can we come back and clean this? And so my mentor teacher was like, let me contact the BLM and try and see who we can get involved in this. Well, when they contacted the BLM, they actually told them, you have to talk to the Southern Ute tribe in order to just do anything with it. And so she got in contact with them, and it kind of formed into this good project. And so the kids that year started it. And then she was urged my first year as a full teacher to apply for a grant with History Colorado.
Mhm.
And she applied for the grant amongst that with my partner teacher, myself, and another teacher here. And we actually ended up winning the grant, won the state archaeology award as well, which frustrated some of my archaeology professors in college. But it's just a great opportunity. Our students run the entire thing. They come up with who's going to be in what groups. They decide who's disguising the trails, who's cleaning up trash, who's allowed to clean the rock walls. And we also have the Ute tribe themselves come up and talk to us about, what does the canyon mean? Oh, disappeared. What does the canyon mean to them, and why it's so important to their culture? And it's just really amazing to see these 13 and 14-year-olds just sit there and soak up all of this knowledge, not only just about the area they live in, but a totally different culture that they don't really get a lot of exposure to anymore. And it's just been a great experience. And then we have people come in from all over the place, from the BLM to the Forest Service to local archaeology groups, and come into our school one day, and they teach us about, pack it in, pack it out, and respecting other cultures. And the Ute tribal members actually taught us how to do beading, and that is an art. It is so hard to do. The needle's small, all the beads are small, but kids loved it, and it was a great experience. But fortunately, COVID this year has put that on hold completely, so I didn't get to do that, and it kind of cut our work day short last year. But we do know that people are still going up there. They're still throwing parties and drawing all over that wall, and so we're gonna try and back up there next year.
Good deal. Yeah, that's always been a really cool one for me to hear about. I'm curious because obviously you're probably limited in the number of people you can take. How do kids apply? How do you guys choose who gets to go?
So we do an application process. So there's just an application form we have the kids fill out, and it's not really like, oh, well, I have for us 3s or 4s, which are A's and B's basically. Like I have all A's and I've never been in trouble, and I do all these extracurriculars. We look at everybody and anybody, from our kids that have some learning disabilities and behavior disabilities to, those picture students that you see on the cover of college magazines and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And we just look for the kids that have maybe an artistic flair, so they can look at the rock wall and go, I do need to clean this in this sort of way because the colors match and things like that. So we go through the application process. And then this last time we were afforded to take 20 from my core, and then there's another core of 8th grade, and we took 20 from them. So we've got about 40 kids working over a couple days.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always been a very interesting project. What's really cool about a lot of the field trips, not just from Mount Garfield. Mount Garfield is obviously one that I'm most connected with, but a lot of the field trips that I hear about from some of the schools is that they're doing projects like that, where it's getting back out into the community. It's doing cleanup projects around town. I remember back when I was in middle school, I went to Booklift here in town, And we did projects similar to that in my 7th grade class. They took 8 to 10 kids every Wednesday out of our core, and we went and did something in the community. And they picked pretty much from everybody, kind of like your program, where they would, they wouldn't necessarily have an application program. They wanted everybody in the core to participate.
Yeah.
But they would go through and we would do all sorts of stuff. I remember one of the ones that I went on, we went down by the riverfront and cleaned up trees.
Cool.
And we actually put down, we helped build a water fountain next to a park, which was pretty
That's
cool.
awesome.
So little things like that. I think that can have a pretty profound impact on kids at that age, because like you said, they're at a very interesting point in their life, and they can learn a lot from projects like that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great experience. And I'm happy that you were able to experience something like that too, because there's so many opportunities in this valley for our kids to get involved. And there are a lot of times where they don't, and it's really sad, but to have opportunities like that in the Ute Heritage Project, it's just an awesome thing to see.
So bouncing off that just a little bit, one of the opportunities that I'm hearing that may come to fruition is a disc golf club at your school. Is that something that's in the works?
So definitely in the works. Definitely waiting for funding. Everything's a little bureaucratic. So I've applied for a couple different forms of getting some money to get that started. But there's a big disc golf community here in the Grand Valley that I've been a part of pretty seriously for the last year. And there's an opportunity to get it started here at school. And I think it's a great outlet for our kids to spend some time after school and learn a sport they can play for the rest of their lives. Just hoping things kind of go the right way. But yeah, hopefully I can get things started here.
That's awesome. Now talk a little bit about disc golf. How'd you get into that?
So I actually had some friends in college that disc golfed. One of my buddies has played on the CMU national team, did very, very well there. So he's a guy that is just super good. And, when you think Frisbee golf, you think the big like whammo Frisbees you play, ultimate Frisbee. And it's not that at all. There's just like normal golf. You've got a driver and a putter. You've got kind of your irons or mid-range discs. And the second I went out and threw with them, I was hooked. I mean, it was something as simple as we went to a field with a basket in it and decided, let's act like we're playing a hole. And it's just interesting when you release the disc out of your hand to see how it flies, and how different discs that with specific numbers can fly so differently. Just became hooked and finished college out, didn't play a whole lot. And then this last summer I was like, I'm going to get back into this. And I think it's the reason why I didn't re-break 300 pounds was because just walking around and playing those disc golf rounds, it's just a great way to get outside. So I'm heavily addicted would be a great way to put it.
Yeah. I think it's one of those sports that not a lot of people think about. But it's something that can be a part of your exercise and your fitness journey, or it can be, like you said, it can be kind of what you do.
Yeah.
It can really keep you active, even though it's not as rigorous as a major sport like football or rugby or basketball or anything like that. But you're still moving. You're watching the course like you would with a regular game of golf. You're using most of your body by throwing. And just kind of adventuring the course. So it's definitely something that is kind of an outlier for a lot of people, but can bring a lot of joy. I know it's pretty popular around our community.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know we've got a couple of big courses around here, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually have 6 courses in the valley. I'm working on getting more. West Lake is really small, right next to West Middle School. They just put in a putter mid-range course there. So it's a great beginner course for people to play. It's not one where you have to feel you got to go a lot of up and down hills and it's really strenuous. But then you have courses like out in Fruto where you've got Snook's Bottom, and you got to climb down a ravine and you're playing up and down hills and they're long shots and it's just awesome to play. And then you've got Riverbend Park here in Palisade, which is a little more technical. And it's just, you got a little bit of everything for everybody in this valley, which is great. And Triple Play Records downtown has got an amazing disc golf selection, and their staff is so knowledgeable and they're always so friendly. So if you ask any question about disc golf, they're willing to talk to you about it. And that's one of the people I'm hoping to work with to get that club started. But yeah, it's a great way to get outside. You walk between 6,000 and 10,000 steps around. So really is a great way to get those steps in, especially for those people that have companies that are like, here's a pedometer, we'll have a competition and whoever has the most steps. So disc golf's a great way to, I wouldn't say cheat, but get a leg up on people.
Yeah, that's a really good one. You essentially get your entire number in one round.
Yeah,
which is great. Awesome. Now I want to bounce into a section of the show that I call
the Fitness 4.
Okay, what that is, for anybody who hasn't seen this show before, is I ask the same 4 questions to every guest that's on, regardless of what they do, what their fitness journey looks like, and even if they're connected to the gym or not. So the first question is, what is your favorite song in the gym?
Favorite song in the gym? Oh man, that's a tough one. I'm probably gonna go with "Indestructible" by Disturbed. It's a song that I've listened to since high school.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of gets me pumped up, especially those early morning workouts. It tends to be right to the front of my playlist. So probably "Indestructible" by Disturbed.
That's a good choice. I've got a couple of theirs in my workout playlist too. Really gets you
Absolutely.
going.
Yeah.
Question 2 on the Fitness 4, what is your favorite exercise and your least favorite exercise?
Favorite exercise? I really like just a barbell squat. It uses so much of your body, and you really feel like when you're done with it, regardless if you're doing high weights, low reps, or low weight, high reps, you really walk away from it feeling like you got a lot out of it. And it's just an overall good feeling. My least favorite are burpees of any form. It's tough as a big guy to get a good looking burpee, let alone a correct looking burpee. So that's probably where I'm at. Hopefully by the time I get to April, I can do a couple and not feel like I'm dying.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of burpees. I think we're probably not the only ones. I'm going to guess that anybody who I have on the show, that's probably going to be at least in their top 3 of least favorite.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Number 3, what kind of stuff are you learning right now? This could be related to the gym, related to your job, really anything that you are actively learning and it's really getting going.
Awesome. So I'm kind of learning a couple different things. So in the gym, it's just really mix it up. Just like, us as human beings, we don't like to just do the same exact thing every single time. I mean, a routine's great, but to switch it up and really make sure that I'm keeping my workouts interesting is something that I'm learning to do. I kind of fell into the same routine last time, and towards the end started feeling like I was losing out on potential. So just learning to mix up my workout, and then more disc golf stuff. I mean, form is everything. So really making sure that I follow good form when I'm throwing my backhand shots and not overextending myself when I'm trying to play. So short-term memory is a big part of that. Throw a bad shot and let it go. It's really easy to get down on yourself, just like it is if you don't have a workout that you felt was great, to sit and stew on it, and then you don't really want to go back and stuff like that. So just, being mindful of how I'm feeling physically, both on the course and in the gym.
I really like that point that you made. Short-term memory. I think that really applies to any sport, any workout, regardless of, if you're just somebody who's trying to get a workout in, or if you've got a big journey that you're on, or if you're, training to compete in something competitively, having short-term memory is something that's really big. We hear a lot of athletes talk about that, especially professional athletes. Just to relate to what you do, golf. Golfers, if they hit a bad shot, they just got to forget about it, hit the next one. And that really goes for really anybody that's coming into the gym. If you have a bad workout, it's okay. I mean, every single person that has ever worked out will have a bad workout at some point. Even if they do that professionally, if they train professionally, if they're a personal trainer, they're going to have a bad workout every now and then, and just getting past that, going on the next day or the next exercise, is a big aspect of continuing what you're doing, continuing your journey or your training.
Yeah, absolutely. And I took that advice directly from a professional disc golfer. I asked him, I'm going to play tournaments. What would you suggest? And the first thing was water and a short-term memory. So, absolutely. I mean, every workout I've had this week has been a 4 out of 10. So, you gotta work up to it.
Yeah, getting back into the gym is definitely the toughest. I'm starting a new routine that's built by one of our trainers here, and he's killing me. I'm 2 days in on the new routine. I've been doing stuff for the last couple of weeks on my own, and then I was like, dude, I need some help. And he put some stuff together for me, and I just started it on Monday, and he's killing me so far.
Yep.
So
Well, I've seen videos come out of you, and they look brutal.
Oh,
So
wow.
get your curl and bands. I'm like, nope, just give me one preacher curl and I'm dying. So yeah, you keep doing you, I'll watch.
Yeah, that was pretty entertaining. I was pretty heavy in doing a lot of workouts. Me and Rashad, who works here at the gym, we were doing a lot of workouts. I mean, we were working out like 5 days a week. We would come in every morning, 7 o'clock in the morning before we're both on for work, and work out for 2 hours. So at that point, my body felt pretty good.
Oh yeah,
I don't even know that I could do like regular preacher curls, let alone throw a band on it at this point.
right.
All right, last question on the fitness board. What is one positive thing that you got out of 2020?
One positive thing I got out of 2020, man, that's tough. To just appreciate the things you have. I mean, 2020 was a year that everybody walked into it and was like, yeah, this is going to be our year, new decade. Like, it's going to be great. Just like the roaring 20s. Realized those weren't so hot either. But it's just to appreciate those little things that you have. I mean, to have a family around you and to have your close friends and just the company of people you enjoy is something that I think we all kind of took for granted. And then we're stuck at home staring at a television or reading books and doing things that we might not normally have been able to do. And to just get that feeling of, I really appreciate my friends and I really appreciate their support and just a common conversation, let alone, being able to go sit down and have a meal with them or just go over and hang out with your friends. So appreciate the people in your life and appreciate having the ability to continue to further those relationships was a really big thing for me.
That's awesome. Out of all the questions that I asked in all the interviews that I've done, this is my 6th one now, and I've got number 7 coming up on Friday. But the thing that I've enjoyed so much is actually this question, because I asked it to every single person that I've talked to, and the answers are incredible. It's the reason I ask it is really to push people to think about the positive. A lot of the people that I've talked to are very positive people to begin with, so they usually don't have too much of an issue trying to find one positive thing.
Yeah.
But for anybody who's watching, it really forces them to think about the good things from 2020. Even if it is just one thing that was good, I'm sure there are people out there who can really only find maybe one thing. But it really stretches the imagination and really makes us reflect on what happened last year to each one of us individually and to the country and to the world, and find the positive things out of it and really to learn from it. And I think that's the biggest thing that we need to take from 2020 is just to learn and to grow from what happened.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. And it's tough to be positive when you lose so much and everybody's panicking and everything feels like it's just falling apart around you. But yeah, I think positivity, it transfers to your everyday life, the gym, all of it. You need it. So I think it's probably my favorite question I've answered.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thanks, buddy. If anybody wants to learn a little bit more about you or maybe follow you, I know you've got a new disc golf educator page. Is that where people can kind of reach you at?
Yeah, that would be a great place. Instagram primarily, at disc_golf_educator. I put on small tournaments where you're comparing discs and stuff like that, and just kind of my disc golf journey. You'll start out my fitness journey on there too, but yeah, great place to reach me. If you guys play, reach out, please. I'd love to play with you.
Sweet. Awesome. Well, thanks, buddy. I appreciate you being on.
Thank you guys for watching. If this is the first episode that you've seen, please check out the entire GymTalk series on our YouTube channel. Just search Mesa Fitness Colorado or GymTalk on YouTube, and you'll find that and much, much more from us. Okay? Thanks for watching.